This is the great locomotive swap. Behind me, the orange locomotive is Locomotive 201 that was originally delivered to the Nevada Northern Railway back in 1951, 70 years ago. And so she is on her way home. We're working with the Northwest Railway Museum to take Locomotive 201 home, and then they're bringing up a locomotive that operated down in Seattle that has ties to this area. So one locomotive leaves, another one comes.
Museums swap artifacts all the time, but usually they go in the trunk of a car and you go over to the other museum and you sign some paperwork and the deal is done. But what we're working with here are artifacts that weigh 250, 300,000 pounds, and the moving truck is rather spendy.
Locomotive 201 weighs 300,000 pounds. And when the locomotive was delivered here back in the mid-1980s, Richards Railroad was connected to the general system, and so was the Nevada Northern. But now, neither railroad is. So the only way to move the locomotive is by truck. And it is quite the deal. The trailer locomotive 201 is on is 16 feet 6 inches wide. Essentially, it will take up 2 lanes of traffic. And it's an 850-mile trip from Snoqualmie to Ely, Nevada.
We're really excited to have one of the first diesel switchers anywhere in the Pacific Northwest. It really tells that story of transitioning from steam-powered trains to diesel-electric trains. It is a stunning example of the American Locomotive Company's high hood diesel, as they were called. They're just 660 horsepower, but they could outperform one of the steam locomotive switchers in the yard. And best of all, they didn't require the level of maintenance and burned far less fuel. We know there are some mechanical issues with the diesel. That's why it was actually retired. And we have to establish what those are and what the cost of repairing those deficiencies is. And we want to complete some historical research on the locomotive to know more precisely how it was used and how it was painted, and any other features that may have been changed over time that we may wish to return to a particular point of time. And then we will select a period of significance in which we will present it. And I know it all sounds very dry, but it's a long process of coming around to making something look really great again.